Hey up YouTube, sorry, bit rainy, down on the plot, and we're going to have a bit of a chat today. I know a lot of you actually, I've had a lot of messages. I've noticed I've not been around much of late. My initials aren't JM, so I'm not after pulling your heartstrings, but I do want to give you an explanation, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so where have I been? Well, I've been around. I've been coming down, I have been looking after the strawberries and things like that. But I'll be honest, when it's come to the plants, looking after the strawberries, sorry, I meant looking after the chickens. When it's come to the plants and the weeding, I really haven't had the desire to do it. And there's a few reasons for that. The decision has been made, and I'm not going to go into all the reasons, but the decision has been made that this will be my last season on this plot. Not for any reason, nothing wrong with the site or anything like that, but for family reasons I'm moving, which means that I'm going to be moving out of the Scunthorpe district. Which kind of, I want to have a bit of a short discussion about this. Knowing what the council is like round here, I have spoken to one or two of the plot holders here. And if any of the plot holders from my site are watching this video, I'm not gone yet. You can't come helping yourself yet. It'll be obvious when I'm gone, believe me. So anyway, what was I saying? So yeah, family moving away. So Scunthorpe, if you're from the Scunthorpe region or district, and if you're trying to get your hands on an allotment, let me know either through the comments below or through the email address on my about page on YouTube, and we can have a discussion about perhaps you inheriting this plot from me. Like I said, there is things that aren't going to be staying, but for the most part you'll be inheriting a plot that's just going to need a bit of digging over, a bit of rotivating, whatever takes your fancy. We may be able to come to an agreement on some of the stuff that's on the site if you want to keep it, so please do let me know. So what does this mean for the channel going forward? Well, I'm going to be seeing out the season on this allotment, so I'm going to be here until autumn winter time. Those of you that have moved house know these things don't necessarily happen overnight. So I'm going to be seeing out the season. It does mean that the video context or the video content is going to change, because there's going to be very little sowing going on for me for the rest of this year now. What I am going to be doing is a lot of container experiments. Some of which I will be starting to film today. You see, I don't know if you can see, but there is some sowings that I've got to plant out here. There's some kohlrabi, there's some celeriac, some sprouts, some swede, and obviously the sweet corn. But yeah, we're going to be doing some experimentation with regards to container growing at home. I'm kind of following, and I always get channel names wrong and I really should write them down, but it's a channel called Homegrown Veg. If I'm wrong, as always, I'll put it in front of me now, and I will try and remember to link his channel in the description below. He's an anonymous gardener, never shows his face, but he does a lot of container growing, and I'm going to be sort of following what he's doing or trying what he's doing. Things that traditionally wouldn't go in containers, like celeriac, I'm going to be trying them in containers. Things that you've seen me do before in containers, like carrots, will be going in. Beetroot will be going in. There's not going to be masses. I'm not going to be sowing loads of these things, but if you can get your head around a continual sow, whereby you sow, 2 to 3 weeks later you plant out, and when you plant out you put some more in. Or if you've got something that takes 20 to 30, let's call it 30 weeks to mature, as you're coming up to the point where that crop is going to come out in 5 weeks, you start off some more seeds. If you can get your head around that kind of thing, which I've always struggled to do, but if you can get your head around it, you can, with a container, give yourself or supplement your food income and intake quite heavily with quite a high degree of success. And I'll be trying things like this. This is only a little, what's this one? A 15 litre. Really? That's 15 litre? I'd have said that was 5. But, you know, I'm going to try and get away with putting things like 2 cabbages in here. Set off to one side and see how they go. So I'm going to set up a little shelter at home for things like the fruit and the brassicas, because the brassicas really is the big thing for my family. I've just noticed, and I'm quite happy that the little tunnel that we did at the side of the beans, one of the cabbages that are in there are ready. So I'm quite happy about that, and that's going to be going home. So the future of the channel is going to change. The future of allotment gardening for me is going to continue. I am going to, wherever I move to, try and get another allotment now. That could mean that I've got quite a waiting list. I do, depending on where I move, have access to sharing a plot with somebody else, with Marcus. If you've been a long time subscriber, you'll remember Marcus helped me grow a shed, helped me build the shed. Marcus has kindly offered to share his allotment with me, should needs be, and should I be local enough. So that's definitely an option I'm going to look into. But the allotment channel is not over. The content's going to change and may slow down. I've got a rather interesting, and I must admit the results are already proving quite interesting, experiment going on between a tent grown plant, in this case a beefsteak tomato, and a polytunnel grown plant. Same plant, or not same plant, but I bought 2 beefsteak tomatoes and I put them in side by side at the same day. One's gone in a grow tent at home, which is the Spider Farmer, the one that you've seen me unbox. I've got the build video and the start of that to actually edit and put together. I've just never got round to it. And there's a beefsteak in here, which we're going to have a look at today, because I need to go through the polytunnel. I may not get time today now, because time is against me. I wanted to be home in the next 50 minutes, and I've got the sweet corn bed to rake and get those sweet corns in. So I'm going to crack on with that, with getting the sweet corns in. I'm going to give everything else a good drink, and that's going to have to wait till the weekend now, unfortunately, because I seriously am running out of time. But I just wanted to get that information out there, that I'm not done, I'm not disappearing. But as I'm sure a lot of people will understand, and a lot of you may have come up against in the past, when it comes to something like an allotment that isn't your back garden, once you make that decision to say, right, that's it, XYZ is happening on such and such a date, the desire and as I was just saying to James, you know, there's an area here that is completely overgrown. I've had the beans out, and sort of the asparagus bed is completely overgrown. Where I had the snowball onions is completely overgrown. You know, the desire to dig that out is gone, because I'm not going to plant anything in there. That's going to be it for me for that space. But in the same breath, I look at it, I don't want to leave it like that. I don't want it to be like that. So it's difficult, and it's demoralising, and it's unpleasant for me. So I have been spending a fair bit of time fishing to sort of take my mind off what's going on here. I've got plenty of crops in, there's plenty to come out, there's plenty to look at, there's plenty to see. It is a bit of a mess. We will have a walk around at the weekend. I'm saying we will sort out the polytunnel, we'll look at side shoots on tomatoes, we'll look at sort of tying them in, a few bits and pieces. I may do some digging, although I'm probably just going to weed out the asparagus bed because I will be taking things like the asparagus crowns with me when I go. So I'm going to get the sweet corn bed dug out. We're going to have a look at the elephant garlic because that's in there and I need it to come out because I need the space. And we're going to get this sweet corn in. I know it's something I've already covered, so it's just going to be a quick run through in Saturday's video. I'm going to get this video out as quick as I can. It's probably going to go out either Tuesday or Wednesday. So like I said, this weekend I'm going to be spending a lot of time down here, so there may well be a long video this weekend. I know some like it, some don't, but that's what's going to be happening. So thanks for sticking with me, everybody that's sticking with me. If you're interested in what's going to be going on going forward, and I know that a lot of you might now be clicking the unsubscribe button, please don't, but if you feel the need to, I completely understand. But going forward, we're going to be looking a lot at container growing and how to things like how to make your crops secure at home, things like that, so that you're not constantly nursing them, babying them, you're not having to look after them all the time. What else are we going to be doing? A bit more greenhouse growing bit. We're going to look at, with the tent and light combo that Spider Farmer gave me, you know, the unboxing video is going to be in the corner there. We're going to be doing a lot of looking at, can I sustainably grow summer veg, so your salads and things like that, indoors through winter. We're going to be playing about quite a lot with that tent through winter, which is kind of one of the reasons why I went down the light and tent route as opposed to the propagator route, because the cost is kind of equal, but a propagator, once you've started your seeds in, its job is done. A tent with a light and a heat mat can be used as a seed starter. It can be used then to continually grow in if your tent is big enough. So like your chilies, you can grow all year round. Your tomatoes, theoretically, you can grow all year round. Lettuce, all year round. Radish, beetroot, anything, because you're in a controlled environment. It does throw up other challenges like airflow, like humid-borne diseases, things like that. But we're going to look at that, and that's going to be coming up through winter. So do stay tuned for that. So now I've sort of got everything out there, I do feel like a bit of a weight has been lifted. So guys, I'll see you at the weekend. I'll see you later.